And today is the first day of the rest of the Biden presidency. The rescue plan is done. There are some things I hate about it. Most obviously, the choice to abandon an increase in the federal minimum wage. But all legislation is sausage making, and there is no democracy without compromises, as much as we hate the people we're compromising with, which is why we start again today. Now that this $1.9 trillion plan is done, let's take one moment to discuss what has gone right here. Like $1.9 trillion is a lot of money. And unlike the package that Donald Trump pushed through 4 years ago, which was roughly the same size, this goes much more to working people and far less to those who already have plenty, just to bail out for them on the government's dime. You know, they never talk about waste when it comes into their pockets, but the Republicans attacked this recovery plan as being filled with things that aren't really like an economic stimulus. Well, there's a sad truth in that, of course, but you know, okay, we have to name it and celebrate it, because right-wing Keynesian, which includes not only Reagan and Trump, but Clinton too, accepts that governments should prime the economic pump. But to that crowd, cutting taxes is just as good as building green energy plants. But progressives say it makes all the difference in the world how you spend the money, which is why the $1.9 trillion plan is worth talking about. It is the resurrection of an idea that government action, government spending can both prime the economy and make it fairer. This plan does more than any action by the federal government in generations to raise children out of poverty. This plan put cash in the pockets of working people, not enough, but at a moment of maximum economic uncertainty. This plan delays, although it doesn't totally resolve, the looming financial crisis of local governments. A crisis that could lead to the layoff of thousands of teachers, firefighters, and frontline workers, central to bringing the pandemic to an end. So as I said, a lot to be glad about. But now we need to look ahead at the substantial challenges this plan does not address. I find it useful in thinking about the future of the Biden presidency and what we want from the Biden presidency to look at where this country right now actually stands right now. First, okay, the pandemic, it's not over, and it won't be for some time. You find this jarring, given all the happy vaccine news that dominates corporate media? So let's be clear. Vaccinating everyone is great, but it's not the end of the pandemic. It is the beginning of the end of the medical crisis. Once the medical crisis is behind us, the economic carnage will be clearer and right in front of Joe Biden's face. Do you think it's wrong of me to take satisfaction using the word carnage? I can't help it. I'm talking about real, profound human damage, not the made-up American carnage of Donald Trump and his insurrectionists. If carnage helps to capture how this economic crisis runs, then I'm going to use it. Think about this. In the two largest cities in America, New York and Los Angeles, you ready for this? One worker in 5 is either unemployed, working shortened hours, or so discouraged or so overwhelmed by caring for children, parents, and spouses that she has given up looking for work. Do I need to repeat that? 20% of New Yorkers and Angelenos have had their economic well-being upended by this pandemic. These are the statistics on the scale of the Great Depression, and it's what we see now. And this won't magically get better in a day once everyone is vaccinated. Yet we aren't hearing much about this or hearing the stories of economic struggle that these statistics represent. The death toll has been staggering, painful, and sobering. But it is only part of the story, which is why vaccinations are only the first step. President Biden, he plans to speak with the nation on Thursday. I hope he doesn't use this address to, congratulate himself. In fact, I will pitch it right here to take some of the heat off of self-congratulating by saying, congratulations, Mr. President. Okay, cool. The rescue plan is a good beginning. Now what we need to hear from you is, where do we go from here? How are we going to create good jobs and good wages so people can get back to work and live a decent life? How are we going to address the rampant scourge of unemployment and underemployment and exploitative employment that has left so many on the ragged edge of ruin and wasted so much potential talent? How are we going to get people out of debt? Personal debt, credit card debt, housing debt, student loan debt, medical debt. And Mr. President, how are we going to help those Americans who have just given up looking for work outside their homes, disproportionately women? We need to raise the minimum wage. We need an infrastructure bill and a Green New Deal that will create jobs building a green economy. We need you to say that on Thursday. You know, the things that you promised. And one more thing, we need you to say that you know that for millions of Americans, this crisis isn't even close to being over. And that building back better is not a tweet. It is a commitment from you to all of us. After all, you still have 53 days left in your first 100 days. So let's use them. Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.